a good time. We're all having fun. Smile. Smile like you're having fun. Smile, goddammit.
Welcome back to I Did This Instead of Killing Myself, stand-up comedy podcast in Greenville, South Carolina. My name is David. It's the week of April 17th, 2023. Like, subscribe. Please subscribe. Would love it. Thank you for listening. Beautiful day on Sunday. I got a new hat this weekend. You guys like it? Yeah. I don't know. I kind of liked it. It's Ben Jennings was giving away a bunch of stuff. He's the biggest Star Wars nerd I know. And this is like a Baby Yoda beanie. Oh, that's something. Oh, I got another hat this weekend too at the Southern barbecue place. Southern Roots. Yeah. Big hat guy, you know. Show and tell. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what to say at the beginning. But, yeah, it's a good week of comedy. It's a great week of comedy. Hope you have a good start to your work week. And we have a great interview for you to get your week started. Two of my favorite people from Columbia. Our guests today, David Dowdy, David Smitty. David Dowdy's been on the podcast before. He is just what a delight David Dowdy is. Very calming. He's like a guy that I would want to, work on a suicide hotline, talk you out of it. Or, if you had to talk down like an active shooter situation, Dowdy'd be great at that. He's like very soothing presence. He's from Redbank originally. He started comedy in 2021, single dad, raising 2 kids, background in public speaking for AA and Narcotics Anonymous. Just an awesome guy. And then David Smitty, one of my new friends from Columbia. Smitty describes himself as he's got Asperger's. He's a worker, amateur athlete, comedian, and podcaster. He's got a couple of podcasts. He's on Family Dinner Pod as well as his daily Smitty show. Check that out at the links below. Smitty works like an athlete. He just doesn't get paid like one, as he says. We had a great time in this interview. I was cracking up. Smitty is like a guy with like, when I first saw him on stage, like everybody in the room loves him, especially if you see him at his home club, I guess, and the Art Bar in Columbia. He gets on stage. He's very declarative. He'll like come on and just lay out an opinion about a current event, and he'll say the punchline, and he'll just have a huge smile after he says it. And he's just so likable and just such a fun change up, like very unique on stage. And we had a good time. So what came up? Here's stuff that came up. Would you trust Alex Jones taking your kid to school? Smitty talked about a pregnancy scare he had where he was under the influence of drugs. We also talk about the Murdaugh situation and why Smitty supports the father. Talk about Columbia, South Carolina being the DUI capital of South Carolina. Talked about sports. There's a lot of stuff. Smitty doesn't pull any punches in this one. And Dowdy and I had a good time, talking as well. So I think you'll enjoy the interview. It's about an hour long. I think you will. All right. Before we get to the interview, though, here's what's going on this week in local comedy. The week of April 17th, 2023. All right, tonight, Monday, Coffee Underground. We have 7 o'clock show hosted by No Expectations Comedy. Travis Thubbin, Craig Holcomb. Comics get there at 6. On Tuesday, we have Sharky's Pub at 8 o'clock, hosted by Callie Pacifume and Amelia Nelson. Comics get there before 8. Also on Tuesday, we have the Art Bar in Columbia, where you can see Smitty and David Dowdy. It's an 8:30 show hosted by Patrick Fowler. Also on Tuesday, we have the Odd in Asheville at 9 o'clock, hosted by James Harrod. On Wednesday, we have the Radio Room, hosted by Adam Schulte at 8:30. Also on Wednesday, we have Tom Emmons, Swamp Rabbit Comedy at the VFW Post 9273 in Piedmont. That's a 6:30 show. Also on Wednesday, we have the Disclaimer Open Mic in Asheville, hosted by Carrie Goff at 8 o'clock. On Thursday, no jokes out loud this week, but we do have Jeffrey Asmus at the Comedy Zone. Very funny guy, 7 o'clock show. Tickets available at greenvillecomedyzone.com. On Friday, we have All Jokes Aside at Habiba's Mediterranean Restaurant, hosted by Dante Anderson. That's a 9 o'clock show. On Saturday, we have Rack and Roll Bar and Grill in Lawrence. We have a show hosted by Melly Kazel. Kyle Loren is featuring, and Tom Emmons is headlining. That's a $10 cover there. And this weekend at the Comedy Zone, we have Isaiah Kelly. Isaiah has 2 shows on Friday at 7 and 9 and 2 shows on Saturday at 6 and 9. Tickets available at greenvillecomedyzone.com. All right, that's it for local comedy. Hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I hope you enjoy my interview with Smitty and David Dowdy. Here it is. Welcome back to the show. We clipped our fingernails before this. Actually, I did. Smitty?
I did too.
Oh,
Do you regularly clip your fingernails?
always 3 times a week. Hashtag hangnail.
Hashtag hangnail?
We're hashtagging already.
Yeah, dude. This one's going to go gangbusters. I'm excited.
That's right. So a little bit about myself, y'all. Just a disclaimer. I do have Asperger's disorder, but just like the great Chris Rock, I'm not a victim. Love to do life as a worker, amateur athlete, comedian, and podcaster.
Dude.
What is tell me more about what an amateur athlete does.
Yeah, very curious.
Let's dig in there.
I want to dig into all of those, but yeah, amateur athlete, I'm very interested.
Basically, just someone who practices and does sports and works out several times a week. You know, always on my feet, working at Walmart Supercenter. You know, basically, I live the life of an athlete. I just don't get paid like one.
I gotcha. Which sports are you into, Smitty?
Tennis and basketball. I also love football too, and I believe though that preparation is the key to success. And so I've listened to 3 of your episodes,
Dude,
this week, man.
That means the world to me, Smitty. Which 3? Jackie's?
Yeah.
Jackie Rose?
Jermaine Glass.
Oh my gosh, dude. Jermaine's episode.
Fest.
If you want to go back to that one I thought I'd get fired over.
Bruh, it gives me hope for men everywhere that he hasn't been Me Too'd.
I agree. Yeah. He's got like an opinion about how men should be in the world. And he's very, insistent on that.
He's Sumter's Jordan Peterson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's the camera?
The camera's right there.
Jermaine Glass is Sumter's Jordan Peterson.
Yeah. With a black flair to him.
I didn't say doctor.
And colorful language. Yeah, he's not a doctor.
Just Jordan Peterson just.
He's not a doctor.
I loved his DUI bit. I'm telling you right now, Columbia, South Carolina is the capital of drunk driving in America.
What is his DUI bit? He talks about that?
Yeah, he was talking about how he literally said he was driving drunk, got arrested for DUI, and then he said charges pending, still innocent.
Innocent until proven guilty?
Possible indictments out
Yeah.
on Sumter's most beloved.
He's like Trump right now.
Sumter's first son, Jermaine Glass.
Something.
Wanted. Indictments pending for drunk driving.
Oh.
So back to amateur athlete.
Yes. Thanks for keeping us on track,
It
David.
sounds a lot like, I'm an amateur athlete too. I'm on my feet often, and I'll go to the gym, Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
And what constitutes,
What sport do you play?
me or Smitty?
Yeah.
Smitty, it's just about him. What sport do you play, Smitty?
Tennis and basketball. Unfortunately, I wasn't a college athlete like you.
Thanks for paying attention.
So well studied.
Yeah.
So well studied.
Smitty, you're the best, dude.
I mean, the pictures are on the wall, but
Yeah.
just in case. Smitty knew.
This place is a shrine to my
Heck,
glory days.
yes.
Accomplishments.
So many, yes.
I just got to see too. I love how you literally do your intros, starting giving out the info on every open mic for the week, bro. You are the Joe Rogan of Carolina comedy.
Smitty, you are heaping the Thank you for saying that, man. That is really nice.
Just heartwarming stuff so
Yeah,
far from Smitty. Nothing but love.
No, I love it. Yeah, dude, I do the mics of the Columbia mics, the Asheville mics. The reason I do that is because when I started the show, I didn't really know, we didn't have any sponsors, and I'm like, well, you're supposed to say something at the beginning of shows, of podcasts, but we didn't have, we're not shouting out BetterHelp or the what other ones are there? The baldness stuff, the ED pills, whatever podcasters advertise. So yeah, we did the mics. So,
Right. That's the thing, though. Most people think that they listen to the news. I respect other mainstream media. They're great liars.
yeah.
But the real news is Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah, dude.
It's hard to co-sign that.
Are you not a Joe Rogan fan?
No,
Dowdy?
I am. It's I like Joe Rogan as much as everyone else, but yeah, sources of news I think today is becoming a good question to maybe ask people.
Yeah.
You want to know what my number one source of news is?
Yes, I do.
TikTok.
Yeah, we
TikTok.
talked about that on our episode. You follow Putin on TikTok.
One account.
Yeah.
One account. Putin pops up on my For You page occasionally.
And you said the only way you knew about the Ukraine war was because of the insider.
Well, now there's all
TikToks.
there's just the TikToks lead to Telegram channels,
Right.
and that's where the stuff you can't put on TikTok goes. But a lot of it's not translated. I really don't know that much about it, but just what I've
underselling
seen.
it. Yeah. The thing I do like about Rogan is, he's one of the most. He's nice. I think he's nice
He is nice.
and well intentioned, and he's one of the most open minded people I know in terms of he's not partisan in who he'll have on his podcast. I think he'll basically invite anyone, and whether they're left, right, center.
Hashtag Alex Jones.
Hashtag Alex Jones.
When's the last time he's had him on?
It's been a while, but I've seen. I remember he was definitely on in the eve of the 2020 election. Because that was all hyped up.
Oh wow! Yeah.
So he was on then, but I've also seen him defend Alex Jones pretty openly. If Alex Jones comes up in conversation, he has this coming out of the holster what he's gonna say about it. He'll say, yeah, he got Sandy Hook wrong. Yeah, he's crazy, but he has been right on some stuff. And he's been at it for 20 plus years, criticizing the Bush administration. He'll say the same talk track. So however you feel about Alex Jones, Rogan seems to like him.
Here's what it comes down to. Would you let him drive the bus to pick up your kids from school and take them to after school?
Rogan or Alex Jones?
Either one of them.
Yeah,
Specifically Alex Jones.
I think I'd like both of them to pick them
You
up.
would let them
Yeah.
pick your kid up and just drive them in a bus.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not
I'd
a
have
father. I'm
don't
not
know.
a father, Smitty and Dowdy. I'm not a father.
The answer may change when there is a human you care about.
Dude, Smitty's blowing up, man.
Smitty is blowing up.
Hey, me too on not being a father. Once again, shout out to the episode with Jackie. Had a close call 6 years ago, but she decided not to keep it, and it's been a great 5 years. So
You had a close call 6 years ago?
yeah, she just she chose not
Wait.
to keep it.
Who
Your ex had an abortion.
is that? What you're trying to tell us?
Yep.
Is this real?
Yes.
Well, congratulations, Smitty.
That's right. But in her defense, I was a crazy motherfucker on Molly at the time.
Right.
You were on Molly?
Oh, yeah. I used to do that shit in college every weekend. Not no more, but it was some fun times.
You ever done Molly, David?
I have never done Molly, ever.
Dude, hey, trust me. I'm with you, Smitty. Okay. I used to. I've done Molly before, Smitty. It's it's a hell of a drug. And Molly's like the love drug, if you're at a rave, or it definitely gets you horny. So
Smitty was doing some coming up the stairs.
yeah.
You didn't see him?
I did some. That was her name. That was the girl's name. I did.
Hey, I guess she's in room number 302
What's the?
What's three?
What's
I didn't
that?
get that one, Smitty.
in the building.
Oh, you know somebody in this building, Smitty?
No,
No.
just a joke for the bit.
Smitty,
He's an animal.
I love you, dude. Well, I was glad you asked to do the show, man, because you came up to Greenville last Thursday, got a little chance to showcase at the Comedy Zone, and I'd seen you at Art Bar, and you're always one of my favorites to go on because the tone changes. Like when you hit the stage, it's declarative. You go right into material, and a lot of times it's like current events, and you just lay it out, very kind of like how you're speaking now, and then you finish every punchline with a big smile, and it is just it's like the most likable like persona on stage. I really
Well, comedy is great for me. It's an outlet to deal with the anger and pain that I experiencing trying to function in everyday life. And Columbia comedy, it's been great. I'll keep doing it, but Greenville, to me, open mic, it's an even higher level. It's kind of like middle school versus high school.
Oh my God, Smitty!
Throwing shade. Throwing shade.
I don't know if I agree with
Shade.
that. I see Smitty.
Shade.
So, dude, I had the opposite experience starting in Greenville and then going down to Art Bar.
Was the big leagues come down to
Yeah,
the Art Bar?
I thought y'all were the big. To be totally honest, I mean, the first time I went to Art Bar, I bombed so bad. Like, I didn't know it was possible to bomb that bad because I was so new and I didn't have the benefit of my friends being in the room to kind of have that built in, like, they're going to laugh at some stuff.
the goodwill built into the room.
Sure.
Certainly
Right.
helps.
So when I came down to Art Bar, I was like, shit, man, I got to rethink, how I'm coming across to people I don't know. And I had the same experience going to Asheville. Asheville felt to me, like Smitty, you said, middle school to high school. I feel the same, when it comes to the Asheville town. But that's a huge compliment. I mean, I'm glad that was your impression.
Right. And the thing is, though, it's all South Carolina open mics, right? It's all different levels of G League, bench, starter, and then all-star.
Yeah.
G League.
I agree. G League is not a bad metaphor. I think that's actually right,
South Carolina, I mean, we're the most corrupt state in the Federation right here.
What are you basing the corruption comment on?
Scandals, political scandals,
Murdaugh scandals.
just murder,
Murder.
per capita, chaos per capita numbers,
Yeah.
just through the roof here.
So here's my thoughts on the Murdaugh situation.
Yeah.
I support the father.
Wait, why do you support the father?
To me, the wife was unfortunate, but the son was absolutely horrible, right? He killed one young, hot female and emotionally and physically abused a second one, Morgan, and hot women are truly the only people who matter to me.
Smitty, dude, come see this guy on stage, please. This honesty.
Right. That's the thing too. People are
Sorry, I keep pulling the mic.
people are offended when like I can't remember their name, because most of the time I struggle with it. Sometimes I'll have to ask 4 or 5 times, but they should be grateful, because if I remember your name on the first time, I'm trying to smash.
Smash. He wants to smash.
I agree with that, actually.
If he remembers your name, smash time.
Yeah. I have a hard time remembering people's names. I do. And especially in stand-up at Mike's, you meet so many damn people. And I will definitely agree. A hot girl's name stands out to me, particularly more so than, just anybody. But
Right. It's all about the value system. I have a lot of friends at Carolina, right? And several of them, all of them who are rich females, they're all hot and from up north, because their mamas are trophy wives. Them rich men ain't marrying uggos, y'all.
so these girls that that are living here now, they're from up north and they're trophy wives?
Well, their moms are.
Their moms are.
Yep.
I see. Okay.
Are you friends with their moms on Instagram or Facebook or anywhere? Any of their moms?
No, but I see them and they're all hot. It's about genetics. I love my parents and I'll always be thankful to them, but unfortunately, due to the loss or lack of fucking talent, I'm never making the NBA. It's just genetics.
Yeah.
I feel like we're taking a left turn into West Germany right now. There's a guy.
If you could go
I
back,
heard genetics.
you would genetically engineer yourself to be 6'8" and
Smashing.
yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. You have to be self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
If I was 6'8", probably not the league, but I'd have been in Ukraine playing basketball until the war started.
Right.
Why Ukraine?
Hey, because Eastern Europe, that's where the money is. And this whole war, like, it's so nuanced. Like, this idea of, like, good guys and, like, bad guys, like, it's not the Civil War.
Right.
We're not dealing with Nazis here.
Right. Yeah, it is a complicated mess. I know less than nothing about the Ukraine war. It seems like it's faded completely from the news, but
Something's going on. We're just not sure.
it is. Do you guys want to talk about that, or do you want to? I kind of wanted to get into Smitty's theory on women, and the attractive ones, because so you pointed out that girls up north are trophy wives, or and then their daughters have relocated down here. Trophy wives exist down here in a southern sense. What's your take on southern women that are kind of the trophy wife type?
Like Colleton County, more or less.
I think that they're great. They handle themselves with class. Also, too, I love the MILFs,
Yeah. Do you think they're hard to please? Because I feel judged often by, like, especially southern girls. Like, if I'm not fitting the mold of, like, the Clemson guy who wears khakis, class ring, all, like, well-groomed, put together, got daddy's money, all this kind of stuff. Like, I feel like they kind of are, looking for a...
You know what it is? It's like a bunch of Smitties running around.
Yeah.
That's how we're viewed. If we're hot, smashable, and if we have value.
Yeah.
If the answer is no,
Yeah.
then your name's irrelevant.
Right. But they make a superficial judgment before,
Oh, yeah. honestly though, women love me. A few of them have told me that I'm the biggest guy that they've ever met. I'm the Tom Brady of white dick.
Oh, okay. That clears that up. I was wondering. You immediately cleared that up.
7 rings, 7 inches.
Like 7 exactly? It's like that.
7 hard, 7
just
soft.
right
yeah.
there, like exactly 7.
Oh yeah. Here's the thing. People always, because of my height in sports and in the bedroom, underestimate me, and that's to their peril.
See, exactly. This is what I'm saying. Don't judge a book by its cover, right? You know?
All of a sudden, you're down 9-0.
Yeah. What?
Don't sleep on Smitty.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, that's the thing. Prep work, right? People can be more physically talented than me, but they'll go a month without playing sports. I've practiced 10 times. I know that shit's going in, bitch.
You've seen it. Visioned it.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that principle that work can beat talent. You know what I mean? Like you could I think that way about mics. I thought that way about sports my whole life too. I was never naturally like the best guy. I just worked really hard.
Right.
Know?
And right now it's March Madness. Shout out to the brackets. I place all the comedians around here into 2 brackets. There's bracket 1, guys that write and prepare like us. And then there's bracket 2, guys who will still be performing here in 10 years.
Who's in bracket 2, Smitty?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mention names, but it's the people that be doing the same 5 every week for like 2 years. Like they're the people that all the comics go outside when they perform because everyone knows exactly what they're going to say before they go up.
Well, maybe they're grooming it to perfection. That joke. It's well crafted.
Yeah. I don't see much LeBron James level greatness in them, but I see your point.
How many times will you guys do the same joke in a row? Like how many weeks like before you'll like be like, okay, I have to mix it in with new stuff?
It's hard for me to do a joke twice. That's one of the things. Editing can be something that becomes fun unless it's viewed as a thing to do, like a chore. But around 3 or 4, if it's not working,
Yeah.
then it's got to go. At that point, I'm like looking at myself like, why am I hanging on so tightly to this thing?
Let's assume for the sake of this question that it's working at like a level of like 60 to 70% of it being done or really good. How many times would you do it?
60 to 70%.
Right. Like let's say it's getting.
So it's an okay joke.
Yeah. Or let's say it's got some pretty good laughs, but it.
I would have a 1 edit revision take on it.
Okay.
And if it gets boosted to that, then we're storing it and moving on.
Okay.
If not, then because you only want to keep jokes that you know are going to smash.
Yeah.
Smash.
Smash.
Ideally.
SME.
Ideally.
Smash. What about you, Smitty?
Yeah. What about you?
For me, I try and keep it now about half and half. I try and do half new stuff. I mean, and then half of like the classics, but I'm always trying to improve on it. Just like a meth head, I'm always tweaking.
Gotta keep tweaking.
Dude, I love you bringing jokes to this. Most of our guests don't bring jokes. Dowdy brought a joke.
I brought a joke.
And I wouldn't. I'm like, yeah.
Kid, Smitty did a joke last night We talked about it on the way up here. Do you want to do that joke?
At Art Bar?
It was at Art.
Bar.
It was at Art
Every
Bar.
Tuesday at 8:30, Art Bar.
Yeah, I will get to that joke. I just wanted to address this. I heard you guys talk about meth on y'all's episode, and
We got into it.
and he would not mention the names of those meth towns near Redbank, where we're from.
Tell them about them.
But I will.
What are the meth towns?
Swansea, Pelion, Gaston, and Gilbert, a.k.a. the 4 horsemen towns of meth.
4 horsemen.
4 horsemen towns of meth. Okay, I want to know how prevalent this is. So, like, in this population of this town, what percentage of the population of adults is using
Consume methamphetamines?
on a regular basis?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's around 17%.
17%? Wow.
17 to 22% and upwards.
Non-consensual.
In some pockets.
That's pretty high.
There are pockets
Okay.
where, it's kind of like 38 bursts of 38%.
Follow-up question.
Using.
Is it possible to be kind of a sustainable meth user?
Yes.
Can you casually...
The first year's great.
First year's
The first year's great.
Have you ever done meth, Dowdy?
No. I have never done meth in my life.
Me neither. Never done meth. Just Molly.
So no, there are levels to this thing. There's pot and there's alcohol.
Yeah.
And Adderall, but then
Yeah.
there's like straight up there's meth and heroin, and it's how are my levels?
No, you're not. I was just my mic has come unplugged before, so I'll just glance at that every once in a while.
Yeah, and there are levels to this thing, and coming back from meth is hard, and it's
Yeah.
the same as crack. You see people who have used crack since the 70s. These are dinosaurs. There's not much of them left. But when you meet them, they have stories of finding a way to navigate and keep going and support this habit,
Right.
and keep thrusting themselves forward through life. And you're sitting here listening to some of the stories. And you're like, my goodness, like just the wake of chaos and devastation like left
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah.
It's like, how did you sustain that for 20, 30, 40 years? But when you get up into that many years, it just starts where you start really, these people are telling stories about other people's lives being destroyed,
Right.
momentarily at least, by them.
And these people you're describing, they're still active users?
I listen.
Practice makes perfect.
Crack is whack, okay? And I have that might be one of the toughest ones I've seen for folks to come back from.
Okay.
That and meth.
Okay.
Right. That's some great points, David. In terms of alcohol and drug, I find it crazy that alcohol is legal everywhere, which literally turns people into non-functional human zombies.
Yeah.
But marijuana is not. We need to legalize it everywhere. But in the meantime, though, I love my drug dealers. Shout out to the plugs.
Smitty saying, you know who you are.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Alcohol, you described them as zombies, and I've used the same metaphor to describe how it feels, because y'all weren't able to stay. You weren't able to stay, Smitty, after the mic last Thursday, were you? Did you go to karaoke? I can't remember.
No, we did not. Had to get back with my ride, but shout out to the Comedy Zone, though. I mean, that stage,
Dope place.
that room, it's great.
Yeah, no question. And we have a lot of fun, if we're performing downtown or near there, like a lot of times we'll go out after, and on the weekends too. So sometimes I'll find myself out on these streets at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. and I'm sober, and maybe my friends have gone home, but I just want like a sandwich, and there's this Sully's Steamers place, great bagel sandwiches. It's amazing. But you stand in line with these drunk people, and they are like zombies. Like, you look in their eyes, and I was like this. Like, obviously, like, I party like crazy, but there's just glassy eyes. There's nothing behind it. There's just kind of, and I feel like I'm in the Walking Dead there. Like, I'm just
scary.
trying to, and it's scary because they could become violent too. Like, I've never been more aware of like the violence that could erupt,
Any moment.
Right. And it gets yeah. I mean, this is pretty, but like it gets real bad around 11 to midnight and after.
Would you say would it be unfair to say that 1 out of 3 alcoholics are aggressive or angry drunks?
Sure. I think so. The thing I notice is whenever girls are involved, like, let's say, like, there's a group of guys who are drunk and there's a cute girl and they all want to lay claim to her, or maybe one guy's dating the girl, and then there's other guys that are like feeling like,
yeah, I've experienced some stuff like that. It
Yeah.
gets weird.
Yeah.
Where there's suddenly like a pack following you all, and it's the ex and friends. And it's like, wait a minute, like I thought y'all.
right.
Yeah, it's like, and they are.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just weird.
Yeah. And the bizarre thing to me is it's almost like the primate brain kind of comes back on. Like, they're not fully conscious like they would be when they're sober, but it's like they're kind of puffing their chests out in this, like, who's the alpha, who's like gonna, and then that's when the physical stuff, like, you can just sense the tension raise up, and then that's, and if it escalates to shoving and or more, like, I'm just like, dude, I'm out. Like, I am bouncing. I'm not. Yeah.
For sure. To quote the great Eminem, too much alcohol makes you lose yourself. And myself,
Yeah.
I only drink 2 beers or liquor drinks per day. That's my maximum, because I've seen what alcoholism does. It runs rampant in my extended family. I have aunts and uncles who like to drink, and they're older now, in their 50s and 60s, and they literally look like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Really.
Yeah, and one side of my grandparents, they were heavy drunks. They used to split like a liter bottle of vodka per day, and they were literally dead before I was born. I never met them. Now, on to the joke David was referencing earlier. My grandpa served in Korea. He killed several people and then returned home and had my dad. So my family survived the original Squid Games.
It was a good joke.
That's a good joke.
That's a good joke.
That was a good show. That was a very, very good show. Did you guys enjoy it?
Oh, I did. I watch all the Korean Netflix shows. I mean, the plot lines are just insane. They'll kill anybody. American television does it wrong. There'll be 9-10 people, and one of them dies at the end. And based off the writing, you literally know halfway through what it's going to be. Make it crazy. Make it unpredictable.
Yeah.
Well, Squid Games did. I can describe my life as before and after the tug of war scene. Do you remember the Squid Games episode where they're doing the tug of war?
Yeah.
And there's a huge platform, and the team that gets pulled off the ledge just falls and dies.
Yeah.
And-
Holy shit. That scene is intense. Yeah.
And then the grandpa is telling this story all while they're about to lose in tug of war. And remember what they do to win the match and beat the team? Do you remember?
I forget the strategy. I've only seen this once, but remind me of the
They
strategy.
released their grip and ran towards the edge, causing the other team to fall back and stumble. And then when they fell down, they started all yanking together and pulled them, and the other team never got their balance. They fell to their Squid Game's death.
Dude. Oh.
Destiny.
That show was incredible because the stakes were so high with everything they did. Oh my god.
My life changed after that episode.
That scene. Okay, so did you take that strategy as a metaphor for life? Like,
yes.
Please.
I've been
tell
running
us.
towards the edge ever since. And nobody's stumbling. It's wrong.
Yeah.
That's only works in tug of war. Literally, that strategy only works in tug of war. It doesn't work in anything else.
Right.
Well, you could run towards the edge in life, and then when everybody else freaks out and falls over about how ridiculous you are, then you just...
Yeah, that's called crypto. We call running towards the edge Bitcoin. That's running towards the edge.
God.
Just buy some Bitcoin. If you want to get really crazy, you can buy some Terra Luna that's now 3 or 4 zeros out and then a 7. You get 700,000 shares for like $50. But hey, nobody pumped Terra Luna. Don't y'all dare pump Terra Luna.
Dude, I'm so over crypto.
Yeah.
Me too. Done
Same.
Except Terra Luna.
Shout out to Sam Bankman-Fried. He had the perfect scheme, stole billions, but this man forgot the most important part about being a criminal, the getaway plan.
Where is he? I wonder. Like, he's off the radar
Did
completely.
he get arrested in the...
He got
Yes.
arrested.
in the Bahamas?
But since then, Gary V's ripped everybody off on a crypto scam. Logan Paul's ripped everybody off on a crypto scam. You know, at this point, if you see celebrity involvement in a crypto or NFT project, it's a red flag.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's been burnt.
And shout out to Logan Paul. He was exposed by CoffeeZilla, and he made a pledge to give his fans $1.7 million back. And since then, he hasn't given a penny, but he recently bought a new mansion.
So he hasn't given anything back yet? He said he would, but he hasn't?
Logan Paul?
Yep.
Get it out, Smitty. Don't die before you tell us.
That's the thing, y'all. I respect all these entertainers and our leaders now because they're so blatant. They literally tell you up front that they don't give a fuck. At least our old leaders pretended to care.
They did
Shout out
pretend better.
Obama.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, shout out Obama.
Shout out Obama.
Great president. Things were normal back then.
Yeah. Nothing's normal.
Nothing's normal.
Nothing's normal now.
It's wild how much this country has changed in the past 15 years. Obama was thought of as extremely liberal 15 years ago. He'd be canceled today for those views.
Yeah. He'd be moderate to maybe right. Maybe is Obama right wing?
He's taken over as like the Billy Graham.
Yeah.
The Billy Graham of,
Yeah. I
not dying on either one of those mountains.
Obama's Billy Graham. You heard it from David Dowdy.
There you go.
Yeah, Dowdy, we talked about this on our episode about how much things have changed. Smitty, you said the last 15 years. Definitely. But I think the last 3 years, maybe since 2016. So maybe, what year is it? 2023? Yeah. So I kind of ever since Trump's election, when it became clear that the insane could happen, that a reality TV star could win the presidency.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
Everybody was
so
surprised.
crazy. People don't even appreciate how crazy that was.
The level of surprise is what I 'cause people that normally aren't acting surprised, like Hillary Clinton, is acting surprised. She's like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
Like this was
This was my turn.
this is what I was told.
Shout out to Women's History Month, y'all. Hillary Clinton is one of my favorite people.
Shout out Hillary.
She's
Shout out to Hillary.
Yeah, she's the
Hope
best
you're watching.
female mob boss in human history.
Mob boss. Yeah. She's good at murder.
She's so under the radar.
Oh, Bill wouldn't have made it 6 months without Hillary, y'all.
Yeah.
We had a dark Hillary theory. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
So actually, Hillary has a niece
Okay.
that is a Mossad operative and does all the hits for the Clinton family. And this is an off-the-books niece that actually purchased her from Saudi Arabia in an oil deal back in '93. And she's been a U.S. asset in training. That's the dark Hillary theory. It's actually her niece.
Where'd she come from? Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, it was purchased.
David listened.
It's oil trade.
He listened to the latest QAnon episode.
That hasn't even hit QAnon yet.
This is QAnon.
That's still on the telegrams. It's still on the
Dude,
telegrams.
hot off the presses. What's her niece's name?
See, that's the cool thing. Nobody knows.
Okay.
This could be the Hillary, though,
Okay.
that everyone alludes to.
That's
It's
pretty
not
cool.
actually an altered
She's
ego.
like
It's a whole nother person.
she's an agent that's capable of.
What if Hillary has a twin that nobody knows about? Could you say that she doesn't have one?
I guess, but is anybody that interested in Hillary Clinton? Does she have to have a twin? Does anybody care that much about what she's up to?
What if they clone her? Like, they're talking about cloning the baby. Why would they clone the baby and like not
Why
be
would they
cloning
clone
world leaders?
The baby, yeah.
You know, like they cloned sheep, and the biggest thing is like, oh, they're cloning celebrities.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they clone Mother Teresa or Gandhi?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they have, because I think when you clone someone, I think the only way they know how to clone it is like because they cloned Dolly the sheep.
They turn into a sheep.
Right.
We got to go find Gandhi the sheep.
Well, yeah. But what I was going to say is they're going to be a new baby, right? Because they have to.
Perhaps.
They take the DNA and then they make a new zygote, and then somebody gives birth to the new Hillary. So the new Hillary is probably like 5 years old now.
Right.
This is definitely West Berlin.
And the unfortunate truth is
Genetics.
Yeah.
this. Most people in this country are sheep.
Yes.
Yeah, they just believe the media narratives no matter what they are. Myself, I have a accounting degree from the College of Charleston, and I love numbers and data because numbers never lie. People do.
Yeah. People can lie with numbers. Would you
That's
say you
called statistics.
statistics? What was your degree in? You said somebody statistics.
Accounting, right? And COVID, right? It shocked me that like the data was out there, but our leaders and most people, they just chose to ignore it, right? Carlin says it best. People will trade freedom for the illusion of security. And
Carlin said that?
yeah, most people hated COVID, though. Not me. I just ignored everything our leader said and did whatever the fuck I wanted. Drinking beers, smoking weed, working out, four-wheeler, time trials. I remember driving through downtown Columbia, and that shit was a ghost town. Outside of zombie crackheads, no one was anywhere.
Yeah. So you were out and about when everything was locked down.
Oh, yeah. No government official will stop me from moving. Every person should consider themselves sovereign when our system is as corrupt as they are. That's the thing. I truly do respect our leaders. They're the best at stories. People think that the right and the left are at war. I mean, that they hate each other. No. These people are the establishment, and they put on a show to con you. These people are the United Liars of America.
Smitty, I agree with that. I really do. The partisan differences are way overblown. I don't think it's, I think it is more theater, and they want us to be at odds, and they want us to fight with each other 100%.
Yeah, it's like low key. Fuck these people. You steal our money. You get your green, but you won't legally let me smoke my green while you're taking 20% of my income in taxes. Fuck off and suck my dick.
And they're buying weed with it.
Yeah.
And computers.
Sweetie, did you get vaccinated?
Absolutely not. But and here's the thing, though. I've had open heart surgery, so that shit would have been terrible for me, right? But nowadays, though, you can identify as whatever you want. So when I needed to, I just identified as vaccinated.
There you go.
There you have it.
Yeah. Did you get vaccinated, Dowdy?
I received all my vaccinations and boosters. My records are on me in the car.
What a fucking sheep, dude. No, I got the first two for my job. But, Smitty, I will say, I did not... I second-guessed it for sure. I did not want to... When they started being so heavy-handed about it, and they started mandating it and firing people...
The
like
French fry
employers.
thing, where they gave away the burger and fries.
Yeah.
That was where I became a little bit
This is
more than
weird.
suspicious.
Yeah. I was like, why are they so insistent? Because I felt like natural immunity was a thing. And they said, no, you still have to get vaccinated. And then I saw a story actually very recently that said they admitted, this was an MSNBC story too, that natural immunity is equivalent, if not superior, to protection from the vaccine.
Once again, as shown on the Joe Rogan Experience. But
Back to the facts.
Back to the facts. Right.
that's right. Here's the thing, though. Once again, I respected the scam. It was about this. Whatever our leaders are big on, that's the current slush fund. With COVID and the vaccine, the pharmaceutical companies made billions and the politicians made millions. Now, the current slush fund is Ukraine. Once again, they're sending out billions and they get back millions. Like, I truly respect these people. They are the greatest scammers in human history.
Yeah. I don't
So
understand.
Smitty's so angry.
This is a good question about the vaccine stuff. I got in a fight with the Greenville comics today in the group chat because I was talking about the vaccine.
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, this is fresh.
This is pretty fresh. Yeah. But Smitty, you said, and like the pharmaceutical companies have made millions. But everywhere I saw the vaccine available, it was free. So how are the pharmaceutical companies making millions? Is it just the government lining their
Grants.
pockets?
There's money that's set
From the
aside
government.
by the government
Right.
for emergency things that can just be.
But the government's $30 trillion in debt, so we're just printing that money and contributing to the ongoing inflation
I
problem.
honestly think that that's what they do. If they need money, they'll just order it like we would a bagel on Uber Eats,
Right.
And
But
it
that's
gets
a problem,
dropped off.
that's all that's doing is making everybody else poorer, and inflation's way out of control, and they're raising interest rates to slow it down right now in the Federal Reserve.
I've
but
lost
that's
track of
screwing
how-
up the economy. That's screwing up everybody's investments.
Right. Speaking of the Federal Reserve, my late grandma worked there. Shout out to Women's History Month. She started at the bottom, became one of the first female supervisors in the history of the Federal
That's really cool.
Reserve Bank. And by the time she retired, she was vice president of the Charlotte office. I'll say this. If that crazy psychopath, we used to call her the general, if she still worked there, these banks would have their fucking money.
Yeah.
So your grandma worked for the Federal Reserve?
The Charlotte branch?
Yes. She did. She was a trailblazer, though. She had to be in charge of everything, and she truly was a brilliant woman. But as she aged, because she couldn't let go, she became very difficult. I am one of few people who consistently told their grandma to shut the fuck up. So what happened was, unfortunately, my grandpa died in 2012, and I would be driving my grandma around places, and I had to stop because I'd be driving her, I would be turning stuff. She would be screaming at me to turn because she was blind at that point, and literally, if I turned, I would hit oncoming traffic. It's like, lady, I get you're trying to meet your husband in heaven, but when you try and take my life, the life of your grandson, that's when I draw the line, you selfish bitch.
Is this the same grandma that was the general?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't imagine having the general flanking me, co-piloting blindly.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be tough.
I trust her more than I do the people that are running things now, though.
I can't imagine being in her seat either.
Yeah.
Having her grandson, Smitty, driving her around.
Blind. Yeah.
Well,
It's just Smitty.
well, and
I know it's here.
that's the thing.
Take
too.
it right.
She probably was right. She's
used-
not here to argue. She's
She used to get very angry with me, though, because I refused to take her to eat where anyone I know worked at. Now, if she was, a calm and sane person, I'd have taken her anywhere. But what would happen is we would go inside, right? And the waiter or waitress would literally ask us what we want, like to eat. I would just say my order, and then she would make like a big ordeal. She'd be like, "This is my grandson David. He says he's a man."
so she was a little bit abusive emotionally.
Oh, yeah. My dad left for military school when he was 12 years old to get away with her because he had more freedom there.
12? Did she sign?
Yeah, they paid.
She basically
for
sold him at that point. You can't really. Wow. 12.
Because military, I'm not familiar with military school and how young you can be. That's on the young end, David?
yeah.
12's a little. But, there are children right now in Africa fighting in the Congo.
Right.
And that's not making the news. Children soldiers.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's the thing. Unfortunately, human tragedies are always going on. I'm a student of history. They've been happening for thousands of years. People only care about Ukraine because it's happening to white people.
I really hope that war in the Congo is still going on, so I didn't just misspeak.
You hope it's going on? I would rather people still be dying in the Congo than be wrong. I really want to be right. So I think... I really hope those African people are still dying.
Hopefully that war is still going on.
Well,
Smitty, what is the biggest human tragedy today, in your opinion?
it's what's going on in cobalt with like the
cobalt
mines.
mines.
Yeah, it's
I thought
like
you might bring that up.
Yeah,
Yep.
people are talking about injustice and how things aren't fair from an iPhone that's made due to slave labor, because people nowadays, they don't read the book, they just judge the cover.
Yeah, I wonder about that slave labor stuff. So the cobalt mines, I've seen pictures of them. There's like hundreds of people. It looks like, herded animals in these cobalt mines. Is there any argument that like maybe these people are like, well, this is my job?
I
So
think it was
you
staged.
think it's shitty, but like I'm making money off this. If I didn't have this cobalt mine, because like it's all it's trade-offs, right? Is it actually slave labor, or do we call it slave labor based on how little they're making relative to our income?
I think the whole scene was staged by Ford Motor Company to make the cobalt industry look bad so that people would keep buying gasoline and keep buying Ford.
Because cobalt's used for electric car batteries?
Yeah. And if it wasn't that, it looked like a lot of hardworking people to
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
trying to make a
Trying to make a buck.
trying to make a
you
buck
know?
down there.
Hey, that's right. These people are doing great. They're making exactly $1 per day. They work all day in the mines, and then the entire family splits a kids meal.
Yeah. Well, if that's your only option, I'm making a pro sweatshop argument, but you know, if you take away that job, then what are the people going to do? Like people, they don't have any other alternative. They must
Yeah,
not.
what would a
People do
that's tough.
rationally what they have in front of them.
What would a solution look like? So it's really easy to look at something and say, I don't like that. And other people will agree with you. But what's really hard is to look at that and say, I don't like that. And this is what I think we should do and why.
Yeah.
And if you can say, and I've done it before over here and it did this, then they might be more willing to try it.
Yeah, maybe some kind of recycling program of cobalt.
I don't have a solution, but
Well, that would be
they've
mine.
got a very valuable resource, it seems.
Yeah.
And
How much
And
cobalt
ex-
is in a phone? Trace amounts?
I didn't know cobalt was in phones until.
Is it? It must be the battery.
What about droids? Droids have it.
Androids?
They
Probably.
all do. It's
Help us out.
interesting though. Literally in the past 20 years with technology, the valuable resource became cobalt. But before that, it was diamonds. There's a fantastic movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, Blood Diamond. Yes,
I love that movie.
Yes, it literally
classic.
talks about and shows all the murder that happened there and Civil War just for diamonds. Because unfortunately, in these countries, resources are worth more than people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably the real story. I was trying to make an argument that it was, in their best interest. But what would be the solution? You can't just go in and like take everybody from their homes and put them in a better situation. Like if you wanted to be a rescue, savior complex kind of thing.
One thing is for sure, we can bring up ideas, but it can't be a final solution.
Smitty has the jokes coming out of the holster, man. I love it.
Final solution.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it needs to be institutional change. There needs something, because I don't know what the governments are like over there, but there needs to be
Yeah.
some kind of stability in the regimes over there.
Sounds
where
like a big problem.
people can make and save money and invest and like have a future. Because that seems to me to be the problem. When I went to Haiti to visit, very unstable, very corrupt government.
You went to Haiti?
Oh, I went to Haiti on a mission trip. Oh yeah.
When?
Oh, a while ago, 2014.
Wow, that's not too long ago.
Yeah, yeah, but
What was it like?
well, very the people there. Like we went to orphanages and did like ministry work and stuff. And but
Whose orphanages were they?
whose orphanages?
Yeah.
Epstein's.
Maybe. I don't. Oh, God, shitty. They were run by the people in the villages, and it was dirt roads. Traffic was insane. There was like no street lights. There was like street signs, but everybody just like you go to an intersection and just kind of honk and just make your way. It was terrifying on the road.
Oh yeah.
You'd see trucks with tons of people in the back. Old beat up cars. You'd see people on motorcycles, and you'd see a lot of people on the back of a motorcycle. Like the most I didn't see this, but the most the guy who was with us had ever seen was 9 on the back of
9?
9 people.
You
on a
can see
motorcycle.
3 in Redbank.
Human trafficking.
I don't know. It's just people needing to lift.
I've
guess.
seen 3 deep in Redbank on a moped.
Yeah, it's out of So in Redbank, similar. So
Like a human centipede.
Yeah. But I think property rights are very shaky there. Like if you have a claim on something, it's hard to like ensure that that's going to be yours, and somebody's not just going to come in and take it from you.
Well, I believe walls and barbed wire are very popular over there, from what I've seen.
Walls and barbed wire, and then one place had
and
a wall,
ammunition.
and like while the concrete was drying in the wall, they broke glass and they put shards of glass over the top of it instead of barbed wire
To further discourage invasion.
Correct. So they didn't have like, infrastructure or law enforcement to enforce the property rights that they had. So you do that yourself. And there was no good way to save money. There's no good way to plan for the future. You basically have to live like 5 minutes in front of you. Whereas in America, you can kind of save and invest and have the assurance. Because why would you save if somebody's going to cut your hands off or, steal from you?
Yeah.
Right. So basically, what you're saying with the claims, it's like fantasy football and the waiver claims. Like you may or may not get it. And also, sometimes, you may not know if it's yours, where you're going. Just like your boy Aaron Rodgers, man. Is he leaving? Is he staying?
Where is he? Where is he now?
He's officially still a Packer, as far as I know. I haven't checked Twitter this afternoon. But, they're trying to trade him to the Jets. But the discrepancy is how much the Packers want for him versus how much the Jets want to give up and who has the leverage. And he's come out and said his intention is to play for the New York Jets, and he doesn't want to play in Green Bay anymore, partially because of how the front office treated him. He didn't feel respected, and he also feels the veterans in the team were not respected on their way out. Other friends of his who played on the Packers.
They were mean to him.
They were mean to, I think in his eyes.
Mean.
They're paying him $50 million, so I don't know.
But they
how
were
mean that
meanies.
is. But they were mean.
Being mean.
Unsavory.
They just kept being mean.
They
I
just
don't
were
know what
mean
to
to
say.
Aaron. I don't
Can't
know.
put my finger on it.
Here's the thing with Aaron, though. Guys like him, Lamar Jackson, they're talented, but you have to understand your value, right? They're acting like they're Patrick Mahomes, but that motherfucker's the king for the reason. You ain't getting that Mahomes money.
Yeah. I mean, you think Mahomes is better than Rodgers?
Oh, absolute. I think all time Mahomes is better. He has 2 Super Bowls. The truth about Aaron is this, right? Talent can only get you so far. He takes off seasons off, and he can get in his head.
Good points.
The man had 1 ring, but if he truly was a passionate and was able to hang in there, he should have 3 or 4. You're a lifelong Packer. How many home playoff games has that man lost?
Smitty, this is very sore topic for me. And
Sore.
You're 100% right. The one, okay, I'm really sad if Aaron leaves, right? But the one thing the silver lining of it is I will not have to suffer heartbreak in the playoffs like I have, because he's good enough to be in the playoffs consistently. But every December and January, since 2010, it feels like. So that's like 12 plus years of
L's
in the playoffs. Not just any L. Like comes
Hard
down to
Ls.
a drive, or like I can talk about, individual plays where we
tip.
so close. Yeah, 2014 Seattle Seahawks, we lost because we didn't recover an onside kick. Not Aaron's fault. And not all these losses are Aaron's fault. But at the end of the day, if you're going to be the man, you kind of got to take some of the blame. And, fuck, Smitty. That not living with that heartbreak, it'd be nice. I mean, we're just not going to be in the playoffs with Jordan Love, I don't think. I mean, I don't think Jordan Love is he's not proven, certainly. And he's a number 1 or first round draft pick, but
And
heartbreaking. I get romantic about the Packers. Like I have these, I'm more about the story and how it feels to be Packer. I don't analyze every little thing, but dude,
It hurts, huh?
It hurts.
It's like being a Gamecock fan.
Yeah.
As a Gamecock fan, still on top of the world. Thank God we beat Clemson, man. Finally.
Needed that W.
Dude, I'm so happy y'all beat Clemson. I don't really like Clemson. Kind of annoying.
They're getting too cocky.
Well, I respect Clemson very much. Look at college football as a business the past 10 years. Mm-hmm. Alabama has been the owner, and Clemson has been the boss. But sometimes in life, even the boss has to suck some cock.
Even the boss.
Smitty, are these just jokes off the dome, or are you
Some
off the top of your head?
Some of them are, and like other ones are ones from stage that I've incorporated. But Georgia, they're the new kings of college football, and I don't get why. I see all these quarterbacks, right, being hyped up. Now, I do believe in C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young, but all these unproven prospects, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, give me fucking Stetson Bennett all day.
Yeah, the Georgia quarterback.
You like Stetson?
Yeah, I like winners, right? People with the passion, and people who step up in the biggest moments,
Yeah.
right?
No, that's exactly right. Aaron Rodgers has stepped up in a lot of big moments, but he's also not stepped up in some of these critical playoff games.
You know what it comes down to?
What does it come down to?
Pedigrees.
Pedigrees. Yeah. Yeah. Can you come through in the clutch?
Pedigrees.
Yeah. It's also hard in the NFL. It's so hard to win.
That's what they used to call me in high school.
Well,
Pedigree.
as a Panthers fan, though, I am over the moon excited with what they've done.
Yeah, they traded up for the first round pick, right?
That's right, and we are getting C.J. Stroud. I've seen him go to the Super Bowl twice and lose, and it felt like the past 3 years. What are we doing? Because without a top quarterback, you have no chance. And I love seeing other teams motivated by fear. Teams like Seattle. After one decent season, they just gave Geno Smith $105 million. Right? The
Yeah.
Giants, they just gave Daniel Jones 4 years and $160 million. I love it.
Do you like Daniel Jones?
He's okay, but you take out his 2 games against the Vikings of the worst defense in the league, he really wasn't that good. He started 17 games and had 15 touch passes, 1 decent season, and they're just throwing money at these unproven quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And I love it because these teams ain't going to be shit for the next 3 to 4 years.
Yeah. You're not concerned about all the draft picks the Panthers had to give up to get to number 1?
Absolutely.
Do you think C.J. Stroud is the guy?
I do. I saw what he's done against Georgia and in the playoffs, right? Right. There's winners and losers, and I want winners on my team.
Didn't they lose that game?
That ain't on CJ. That's on that fucking defense.
Pedigree.
Right there.
No, I agree. They came down to the wire anyway. Do you think the Packers are motivated by fear?
Well, somewhat. I think the issue with Green Bay, I know you're from there. I've been listening.
I love you, Smitty, dude.
But the thing with Green Bay, and it's to a certain extent the same way in Carolina, because it's a small market team, a lot of guys aren't going to go there, right? They want to go to Dallas, Houston, Miami, L.A., Vegas, places where you can party and there's tons of extremely valuable hot women available.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Back to that.
That's a good point. There are a lot of beautiful girls in Green Bay, but then once they graduate, like I was there in through middle school, and tons of cute girls, but a lot of them left. You know, I don't know if there's a lot of cute girls, you know, in their 20s that are. I could be totally wrong. I haven't visited in a
Green
while.
Bay women, if you're watching,
I'm sorry, Green Bay.
let us know. We don't know,
Yeah.
but we want to know.
Yeah.
Well,
We wish you the best this March.
Yeah.
that's right. There's basically certain regions of the country. It's not true for everyone there, but there's a stereotype. Like the Midwest, I refer to them as the beer people. And, you know, in the desert, right? Though Arizona, those are the desert people. Then in Miami, Florida,
Are there hot women in the desert? I think yes.
some, but not as many.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think Arizona would rank pretty high in terms of beautiful women per capita.
yeah,
Phoenix, Scottsdale area. I don't want to get in trouble either.
Phoenix,
is this misogynist?
let us know.
This
don't
will
know.
air after March.
Well,
No, I just
Looking at
I
April.
think I'm like you. I'm a beautiful women are the only people that really matter to me. So
of course, man. And
oh, absolutely.
and
Duh.
are the beautiful women though, Florida, New York, L.A. 1, 2, and 3. Man, smoke shows everywhere, man. my dick just stays hard in those cities.
yeah, the Midwest is kind of the beer people. Green Bay is a heavy drinking town. But you know, it's cold 7 months out of the year, and got to do something.
And unfortunately, I don't know if you're big into the NBA, David, but Aaron Rodgers has been overthrown as the king of Wisconsin. 2 years ago, Giannis Antetokounmpo,
Absolutely.
the Greek freak, took
Giannis.
that over. That man dropped 50 points, won the NBA Finals, and then pulled up the Chick-fil-A and got 50 chicken minis. Legendary.
Yeah, dude. Giannis
Still
is
hungry.
incredible.
He's awesome.
The Greek freak. I'm impressed you could pronounce his name correctly. I still can't. Giannis, can you say last name again?
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Antetokounmpo.
Dude.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I just call him Giannis or the Greek freak. Antetokounmpo. Dude, thank you.
We got that down.
We got that down.
Well, and that's the thing too. I will always, love talent, but there's so few talented white guys in the NBA that when you see them, you just have to, love them. Like Luka Doncic. It's like I'm living vicariously through him every game.
Luka.
Yeah, Luka.
Do you follow the NBA?
Oh, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
It's true. Hey, Smitty, my cousin played in the NBA.
Oh, what's his name?
Very briefly. His name's John Teskey. He played for Michigan. He was a starting center for Michigan. And then he was on the G League with the Magic for a while. And he got called up to Memphis for like a week when there was a COVID shortage of players.
Teskey.
John Teskey.
Shout
out
out,
John Teskey.
John, hope you're watching.
I don't know if he is. I doubt it, but
tag
I
him.
want to get him on an interview.
So
Yeah.
Definitely.
Get him in
for
here.
sure. Speaking of Memphis, let me ask y'all's thoughts on Ja Morant pulling a gun on Instagram Live.
I love
the
it.
Team playing.
He got the clicks.
Yeah.
Right. I've been following Ja for years. South Carolina legend, one of my favorite players. I've seen his highlights
resident.
of every game. But it's like, what is he thinking?
Yeah.
He can't shoot.
I don't know a lot about his shooting ability. To be totally honest, I don't follow the NBA a ton.
He's a dunker. He's a dunker and a driver. He'll try to dunk over anybody.
That's the thing. As good a driver as he is. If you want to kill somebody, just ram them with the Call of Duty Jeep.
He needs to stick to slashing.
Oh man. Well, guys, I just looked at the clock. I kind of have to run here if I'm gonna.
You gotta go.
If I'm gonna make it to Asheville. Sorry to cut it short, Smitty. Is there anything you want to shout out or anything you want to get off your chest before we call it?
Yes, y'all. Follow me on the socials at Smitty Comedy on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, at Smitty David on Facebook. Also got my Smitty Show daily on YouTube and Facebook. I want to thank David for having me. Y'all tune in to this podcast. I'm always grateful for pods and mics because just like the great Allen Iverson, we talking about practice.
Practice.
Can you tell us about your podcast really quick? Because it's a daily show every day. You have a new episode up.
Yeah, 5 to 6 times per week.
Holy shit!
It's just my 5 minutes. It's my unfiltered thoughts on what's going on.
That's fantastic.
Right now.
That's really good. I would love to tune into that. Is that the same podcast you mentioned like before we started recording? Because I thought you said you had one where you don't publish every episode. You had like...
Oh, no, that is my family dinner podcast with my good friends Brandon, Joe, and Nico. Brandon Body, he's a good comic
I love
as
Brandon
well.
Body.
Yep.
He came up to Greenville recently. I need to have him on the show. Family dinner.
Yep. Brandon's a lot like me. The only difference is his family has money.
So that's available on your YouTube channel. Do you put it out on any other platforms? The Daily Show?
No, it's 2 separate YouTube things. My Daily Show is at Smitty Comedy, and the other show is at Family Den on YouTube, bro. And like I said, it's all about the views.
All about the views.
Shout out to Drake.
Subscribe, people. Absolutely. Check it out.
Thank you.
Don't shout out anything. You don't get to say anything.
Just thank you.
I'm just kidding. No. Dowdy, shout out your stuff too because you're hilarious. Yeah, you got
David
content.
Dowdy comedy across the medias.
Yeah.
King of Redbank.
The King of Redbank. Well, guys, we could have gone longer even. I feel like... Do you guys feel like you got... Yeah?
Yeah, we got a show backing up against 2. We're going to see. Tell them about that, Smitty. Tell them where we're going.
Yeah, going to see Ben Jennings' show. Check out the lounge and performing at Radio Room tonight. This episode has been a classic example of Carolina comedy. Sausage Fest.
Yes.
I love it. Well, thanks for coming, guys. This was a pleasure. David Dowdy, David Smitty, David Bakker.
We're having
days.
fun, aren't we,
Pretty
everybody?
good.
This is a
Triple
good
D's,
time.
peace,
We're all
y'all.
having fun.
See y'all.
All right, thanks for listening, everybody. See you next time.
Smile like you're having fun. Smile, goddammit. Hey, don't fucking touch that. Put that down, you